Hello, my name is Lina Lassiter, and I'm the president and founder of Forever Healed. Forever Healed is a nonprofit organization, and we help our clients to recover, reclaim, and restore their lives due to pain from unresolved grief and loss of any kind. Today, I want to talk about STERBs. It's probably the first time that you've heard this term, or for some of you who have taken this class or my seminars, you've heard us talk about STERBs before. So I want to talk about short-term emotional relieving behaviors that we sometimes participate in as a way of not feeling. We don't want to feel. So again, I'm Lina Lassiter, the founder and president of Forever Healed. I'm a licensed minister. I'm an advanced grief recovery method specialist. I'm trained in trauma and grief and currently pursuing my master's in counseling with a concentration in PTSD, grief, and trauma. So today, I just want to share with you a little bit about STERBs and what we can do to help you if after this video, you have determined that you may be STERBing due to a loss in your life. So let's get started. Grief. So what is grief? So grief is the normal and natural emotional reaction to loss or change of any kind. Of itself, grief is neither a pathological condition nor a personality disorder. Now, my favorite definition of grief is the conflicting feelings caused by the end of or change in a familiar pattern or behavior. The reason that I like this definition of grief is because, again, I knew growing up, every time someone spoke about grief or loss, I always thought they were talking about someone dying. So there was a time in my life when I was grieving and I didn't realize that it was grief. However, there are over 40 different losses that may end up in sad feelings or feelings of grief that we just weren't taught about growing up. But there are over 40 losses: death, divorce, loss of self, loss of expectation in relationships, loss of your job. Sometimes your child who may, or a family member may have come and told you that they're homosexual, right? So your loss, and that's your loss of expectation and dreams that you had for that individual. So there are a lot of losses that we just don't talk about, and grief that we don't realize that we are truly going through. So STERBs, incomplete grief. So STERB stands for short-term energy, but I prefer to say emotional relieving behaviors. They are activities that we use to distract ourselves from painful feelings that follow a major loss. So I know for myself, when my brother was murdered in 2007, I was busy. I just was busy. I just volunteered in every ministry I could think of at church. And just kept myself busy as a way of not thinking about the way that he died, because it consumed me. However, although I was busy doing grateful things, doing great things, meaningful things, at the end of the night when I laid my head on my pillow, I still thought about his death. So STERBs are behaviors, again, that we use to not feel the pain, not think about our suffering anymore. So they can be, some people drink. Some people, again, they keep busy, excessive exercise, isolation, sleeping a lot, right? So these are the things that we do to try to cope with our grief. Now, there are healthier things that we can do also, that we do to try to, deal with our grief. But these are some harmful things that we can do. So you may say, Lina, keeping busy or drinking or, these behaviors, in and of themselves aren't dangerous. You're absolutely right? Because you can drink in moderation, you can work out in moderation, you can do some of these things in moderation, and they don't cause harm, and they don't cause harm to our bodies. But again, if you're doing these things not to feel, to mitigate your pain, to numb your pain as a coping mechanism, then that's when it becomes dangerous. During these classes, these grief recovery classes, sometimes our clients come and they share different STERBs that we're not familiar with, and people talk about, and I know me personally as well, sometimes women will change the furniture around in their homes, right? So your family will come home and not know where the couch is going to be one day because you're disturbing and you're just cleaning excessively, not to feel. So that's always a good one I like to talk about. But overcoming grief. If the thought of your loss brings you hurt, pain, disappointment, and unresolved waves of emotion, then it's time to take your life back. Overcoming grief. You can't go over it. You can't go under it. You can't go around it. You can't outrun it. You can't stir it away. You must go through it. And the grief recovery method, their classes, to me, they're actionable steps to help us move beyond any type of pain that we may be feeling due to unresolved grief. And I mean, it's a class, actionable steps. You have to do what's best for you during your time of grief. You have to seek out the care and the treatment that's best and right for you. For me, this grief recovery class was life-changing because I had sought counselors, psychologists, going through my grief, and I didn't necessarily want to just sit there and talk about my pain. I wanted to talk about how to get through my pain. How do I get on the other side of this? So having a class that holds me accountable, that gives me free work, if you will, it's homework, but free work to participate in, to have a hand in my own healing, was just life-changing for me. So we have to go through it. And when we go through it, we recover. So recovery means finding a new meaning for living, acquiring the skills that we should have been taught in childhood. So again, remember we talked earlier in an earlier session about when we are children, we're not taught how to express our feelings. We're not taught how to grieve. We learn how to eat. We learn how to replace. We learn how to get over it. But we don't necessarily learn the skills to express our feelings. And not only express them, but have the tools to be able to cope with them successfully. So here's how we can serve you. Seminars and classes, in person and virtual. So we do one-to-one grief recovery classes. We can do that in person or online, and they're 7 weeks. We do group sessions. The group sessions are 8 weeks. We do grief in the workplace. So awareness and education is key in helping your employees cope with loss. Grief recovery classes. Again, they help us to move beyond our pain. The programs I will offer you a richer and more rewarding life. Grief in the church. The church often plays an important role in helping those who are grieving with a loss. So we go to churches and we conduct our grief recovery classes. So schedule a grief awareness session with us. Email us at foreverhealedllc@gmail.com. You can call us at 804-684-1113. On social media, we're Forever Healed, 2 words, on Facebook and Instagram, and Twitter at foreverhealed.com. We also have a YouTube page, Forever Healed. So subscribe to that. Check out some of our past videos and seminars, and we hope they help you. So again, until next time, I want you to walk in your healing. I look forward to meeting with you. I look forward to speaking with you. So please reach out to us. Have an awesome day.